Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here and welcome to a very exciting video. I realized that last time I did this video I didn't actually even tell you guys what I do for work. So I'm a medical speech language pathologist and I'm in my clinical fellowship year because I just graduated with my master's in May. So that's what I do for work. That is what I'm going to be taking you guys along with this week for what I realistically read in a week while working. So last time I did this, like I said, I don't feel like it was too realistic because I was still adjusting to the schedule. I was taking a nap literally every day and I didn't read as often because I didn't know how to manage my time. But I feel like now I will have a more realistic what I read in a week, and I'm excited to take you guys along with me starting today. I'm not sure exactly what I want to read this week. I think I kind of want to read Into the Dark so that I can finish this series because I've been wanting to finish it and I do love these characters and I love this world. So Into the Dark is the last book in the Magnolia Parks universe that is released thus far, but it's also the last book in the Magnolia Parks world because the next two books are going to be in the Daisy Hates world. If you didn't know, they are two different people that are in the Magnolia Parks universe and there are books about each of them. So Daisy Hates and Magnolia Parks, and this is the last one for Magnolia and BJ, and I'm kind of sad to be ending their era because I do love them. But I think that's what I'm going to end up starting with in this video, and honestly with how long it is, it might be the only book I read, but who knows, we'll see when I start reading it and everything like that. I'm going to try and keep count of the page count this time because I didn't do that last time, but I'm interested to know how many pages I actually realistically read by the end of the week, so I'm going to keep track. I will take you guys along with me. I'm excited. Let's get started. Leaving the cafe because it closes in 30 minutes anyway, and I ended up only reading 3 chapters in there, so I'm only on chapter 15 right now. I'm getting back into the swing of this book, so I do have thoughts about the book in general. A lot of the Magnolia Parks books have drama in them, like they're known as the British Gossip Girl. Like the plot usually is just drama going on with this friend group of people cheating and relationship drama, a lot of stuff like that, but it hasn't really been a lot of real life stuff, at least in the Magnolia and BJ stuff. I mean, I guess it has, but this book specifically is getting very intense in terms of personal stuff. There's conversations about eating disorders, grief, mental illness, and you're really seeing the characters transition and try to cope with a lot of things that have happened to them in the past few books. So the past few books were like a lot of crazy traumatic things happening basically, and now this book is them coping almost. And the end of the last book, the end of the second Magnolia Parks book, oh my gosh, that was insane. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I thought it was necessary. It was like very, very sad, and I think I'm gonna see more of the reasoning, at least I hope to see more reasoning in this book, but I'm wondering if maybe it was necessary in order to progress Magnolia's character to the point that Jessa the author wanted her to be at the end of this series. I'm not really sure. So far this book is just a little bit more on the intense side because, and not like intense like drama. There is drama though. There is drama. They're introducing some new characters I've never met before to create some more drama with the whole side characters. There aren't really, I guess, side characters because you know them so well. It's kind of like the box set, like their group of friends. There's drama in there, but specifically Magnolia and BJ, the main couple you follow, their drama is related to what I mentioned before, some more serious topics, but there is still like the relationship drama and stuff outside of them. So that's still entertaining. I love the drama. I'm enjoying this book still because I love the world and I love these characters, and honestly like Jessa Hastings makes anything interesting. Like I would read their grocery lists. Like I don't know why, it's just so interesting. I love the way that she writes, and I think her writing is just beautiful in the way that she creates these characters. It's nice seeing Magnolia and BJ at this stage in the series. If you've read any of it, I feel like you would know they have their trials and tribulations for sure. So this is more of a final stage for them, but that's where I'm at in terms of the story. It's very cozy and warm in my car right now, so I'm kind of thinking I might read a little bit more in the car. I don't know, I'm like such a car reader. I don't know if other people enjoy that, but I enjoy to do literally everything in my car. I don't know if that's weird, but I will like even eat in my car and have a preference towards that. I love like just put on music or an audio audiobook or a podcast and just sit in your car, and it's so warm, so cozy, and you just kind of exist. Here's my matcha. I ended up getting a matcha with vanilla and almond milk, and it was very good. I love when the matcha is such a pure green color. Now I might read a little bit more. I moved from my parking spot because I started driving home, and then I was like, wait, I wanted to update on the book. So then I pulled into a parking lot, and I'm just in some random parking lot. It says parking for customers only, but it's empty. So I'm gonna read this book. I don't know if I want to read it physically or on the Kindle. Sometimes books that are big, I prefer reading on the Kindle because I also feel like it goes faster. I might just read the book physically. Mentioned in the book that one of the characters is trying to teach another one of the characters a TikTok dance, and I have to say one of my least favorite things about books is when they add like real life elements to them in that sense. Like, I don't want updated slang. Like, I don't want anyone being like slay or okay diva, mama, a book behind you. Like, I don't want that in my books, and I don't want TikTok in my books, and I don't want COVID in my books. Like, those are the main three things I don't want in these books. I actually have to switch over to my Kindle because the lighting situation. I didn't think it would be so hard for me to read my book, but like, there's no light in my car right now. Alright, back to the book. That's crazy. No, see, we can't do that. This brightness has got to go down. Oh my gosh, not them. The characters just ran into someone that we hate. We hate in this book. Excited to see what happens. It got so dark in this little span of time. The one thing I strongly dislike about winter is how dark it gets so early. Like, it is literally 4:30. Saturday, and I went to work this morning. I got home and then I kind of just laid in my bed and I watched Survivor. I've been kind of addicted and like kind of binging that new season, so that's what I did today. But I did end up reading a little bit more, but officially for Friday I read from page 121 to page 161 in Magnolia Park's Into the Dark, and so that's 40 pages. So I read 40 pages on Friday. I low-key spent more time yesterday binging Survivor than reading. That's okay. And so today I started on page 161. I'm currently on page 197, so I'm on chapter 22 right now. I'm like that far in. This book is so big, I'm like not even halfway. That's where I'm at so far. So I think I've already read 20 pages today. No, 40. I think I've already read 40-ish pages today. I definitely plan on reading more because I do have nothing to do the rest of the night and I don't have to work tomorrow, so I can stay up a little bit later. But I actually read a pretty sad part in this book, and so I did tear up, and you'll know if you read the series. But honestly, so far my thoughts about this book have been like, I don't find this series boring. I don't find any of it boring, but this book itself just has less like drama than the other ones. So I find myself kind of waiting for stuff to happen a little bit more because it is just more of the mundane day-to-day. And I don't hate that because I love the characters, but that's just more the vibe of this book. And here's my cat. Hi. I'll catch you guys later. things about this book that I think is funny is that they mention so many different clothing items. Like, let me read this. A powder pink sculpted corset bodice ball gown from Zach's Spring 2014 RTW runway. I have no idea what that is. And they do that with like every single outfit that the characters wear. And I think it's so funny because I think it's very endearing for the characters. You can tell like Magnolia loves fashion. It makes a lot of sense for her. But for me, I just read it. I'm like, okay. I just like picture them. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday, and so for today I woke up early. I went to breakfast with my boyfriend. I added some clips of that. I went to one of my favorite places ever and I got the chocolate crepes, which is like my favorite thing from that place ever. And then we went to Barnes & Noble. We got coffees. We walked around and I read a little bit. It was like the perfect little shy day. So for the update on this book, last night I lied and I didn't read much more. I didn't read at all, actually. I have been writing down the pages every day, and yesterday I read from 161 to 197, so I only read 36 pages. But that's okay, because I worked that day and I have to give myself grace. And I also watched too much Survivor, but I feel like now I'm not going to watch as much because my favorite person just got eliminated, and now I'm like, I don't care as much anymore. I still want to see who wins, but I'm gonna go slower with it. And then so for today, I've read from 197 to 228. So I've read 31 pages today. That puts me at chapter 27. And I feel like it's actually a very fun chapter. Fun things are happening. I love the drama of it all, but there are still very sensitive topics being talked about in this entire book. So there are parts that are kind of difficult to read. Like the first bit of what I was reading was a little bit hard to read because there's a lot of topics of like grief and very sad things. But I think I mentioned this before, that there are two separate main characters in the Magnolia Parks universe. So there's Magnolia Parks and then there's Daisy Hates, and there are different books in this universe. So this is a Magnolia Parks book, so you get Magnolia and BJ's perspective, and then next usually comes a Daisy Hates book, so you got Daisy and Christian and Julian's perspective of the same exact timeline, so they overlap. I don't know what's going on with Daisy, Christian, and Julian, but I'm getting a lot of like hints and random things that are happening in this book, and now I just want the next book because I want to understand what it means and what's happening with them, but I'm not getting their perspectives just yet. So whenever the next book comes out, I'm going to be seeing like the exact same dinners that they're at and everything, but I'm going to get the other perspectives and what's going on in their life personally. So I'm very excited for that because I'm very curious, and I feel like I prefer Christian and Julian, which is a bit of a hot take because people love BJ, but people love Julian too. But I'm more of a Christian lover. Love this book though. Having fun with it. And I'm definitely going to read more today. So I'm not lying to you guys. This time I'm actually going to read more because I do kind of want to hit 50 pages today because I have the day off today. So I have really nothing else that I'm doing the rest of the day because I already went out for breakfast, and all I kind of have planned is editing some videos, but I can definitely read in between that. That's my plan for the day. I'll keep you guys updated with my reading, and I'll see you maybe later, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Hi, it is currently Monday. I'm back from work and I have some updates on the book. It's getting very good right now, so I don't want to put it down. I really want to keep reading, but I figured I would update you guys. I'm currently on chapter 38 and I'm on page 296. So far for today, I've read 54 pages, and yesterday I ended up reading 45 pages. So I feel like I've had a pretty consistent like 30 to 50 range of what I've been reading this week. I feel like that's a decent amount of pages per day while I'm still managing a job and everything else. Also, I'm managing a lot more editing than usual with bookmas coming up. but I'm really enjoying this book and I'm enjoying taking my time with it, and I love the series, and I feel like I'm kind of finally hitting a point where it looks like I'm almost halfway. But honestly, this book has felt very different compared to any other Magnolia Parks book that I've read. It almost feels more mundane, but it also isn't mundane. Like, their life is nothing normal, but compared to their other books, this book feels like you're reading more about the mundane, the daily things. There is still drama. The drama feels a little bit repetitive in my opinion. It's kind of just a lot of like, can Magnolia trust BJ drama, and it's like a little bit repetitive. Once again, I really want the Daisy Hates book because the stuff I'm reading about, I just need to know what's going on with Daisy and Christian. But my plan for today is I'm just gonna hang out. I'm gonna read a little bit, edit a little bit, and my boyfriend is coming over tonight. I don't know what we're gonna do. We might go out and get dinner. We might get some food and eat it at home and just hang out, watch a show or something. That's what I'm up to. I wanted to give a little bit of an update, and I think I'm just gonna go back to reading a little bit more because I'm having a lot of fun, and I left on kind of like a cliffhanger because something happened with Magnolia and BJ, and I just want to know what's going on and what he's doing. I'm gonna go back to doing that. This is my little check-in for the day if I don't talk to you until tomorrow. Tuesday. I'm back home from work now, and I ended up reading quite a bit honestly, but I want to go over yesterday's stats too. Yesterday I ended up reading a little bit more, but I read it right before going to bed, and then I completely passed out mid-chapter because I was so tired. But I ended up reading 63 pages yesterday, and then today I read 95 pages so far. So I've read from page 305 to 400, and I'm currently on chapter 51. I'm probably gonna read a little bit more today because my boyfriend is coming over and he mentioned reading together, which is super fun, so I will get to read a little bit more tonight. I don't know how much more, but I'm definitely gonna hit 100, which is exciting. 100 pages today. And I was talking to my friend, I FaceTimed her, and we talked about this book a little bit, and first off, I have to say I love Julian so much. I also have to say I feel like this book is a little bit mundane and a little bit repetitive. I love the world, I'm happy to be in it, and I'm happy to be with the characters, and I'm enjoying it because of that, because I love them and I know them. But like, other than that, it is kind of repetitive with like the same theme of cheating just happening over and over and over again. But I feel like these characters are just so used to being toxic that they almost don't really know what to do with them when they're not toxic. Like, it's very fun. It just is not as fun as the other ones in terms of like the drama, but it's still entertaining because I love the characters and I'm excited to see this growth in them. And I'm excited to see all of these positive things in terms of steps they're taking towards growth, and that's fun to read about and seeing these characters too. This is their last book in the world, so I see it as kind of like a conclusion to them and their story, so I do like the path that it's taking, and I feel like it's important. So I'm gonna read a little bit more tonight. I will update you guys. I don't know if I'll update you later tonight or if I'll update you tomorrow, but I will let you know what's going on, and I'll see you then. Hi, it is Wednesday after work. This is Lance hanging out with me, but I just calculated the pages that I officially read yesterday and today, and it's still only 3 p.m. so I have the rest of the night to read, and my boyfriend's not coming over today, so I have all night to read. But yesterday I did end up reading a little bit more before bed. I literally fell asleep in the middle of a chapter, but I ended up reading 118 pages yesterday, so that is the most I've read so far. It's a very good reading day for me, and it was very fun to read it all, and I was very excited to get super far in the book. Now I'm like this far into the book, so a little bit over halfway, which is very exciting. Today I've only read 39 pages so far, so I haven't really read much, but I'm kind of consistent with my daily reading amount anyway compared to the rest of the days. Hopefully I'll get to read a little bit more. My thoughts for this book are pretty much the same in the fact that it just feels a little bit long. I feel like she kind of wrote too much and had some parts be a little bit repetitive and maybe even boring. I still love the book, love the characters. I feel like this is just a book where you have to truly care about the characters and their lives to enjoy it. Otherwise it might just be a little bit boring, because it seriously is just their lives and how they're coping with things that they've been through and kind of how they're undoing all the damage that was done to them in the past few books. So it feels just very personal to these characters. I feel like you really have to care about them to care about this book, and it's a little bit long, a little bit drawn out, and some parts are just a little bit repetitive in terms of like the arguments they just keep having. I guess in some ways that could be seen as realistic because sometimes things do keep festering, but that is kind of how this book is going so far. It's not like a 5-star read yet, or really, I don't think it will be. It's not like unput downable. I definitely could put it down, but I'm happy to be reading it, and it's not like I want to pick up another book. And I think I'm gonna lay down and read a little bit more right now because I'm tired and I want to just lay in bed and read. That's what I'm gonna do right now. I will update you guys when I read a little bit more or when I have thoughts that are different than the ones I just shared, and I will see you then. Goodbye. Hello, it is Thursday. I'm back from work now and I have updates on the book. Currently, I'm still reading it. I'm currently on page 519, chapter 64. Yesterday I read 39 pages and today I've read 54 so far. I feel like I have a pretty consistent number going here for the pages I read daily. I feel like I need to do this again. I know last video I said that I didn't think my thing was accurate, my video was accurate because it was my first week working. So I was like very much adjusting and waking up early and I was taking naps every day. And this week I'm doing it at the same time as just bookmas going on. So I'm editing videos way more than I was the last time. I'm like editing every single day, and that's not accurate to the reading because that takes away from reading time. So I really feel like I just need to do this video again on just an average week because none of these weeks have been average for me. So I feel like I'm not accurately portraying how much I read, but maybe I am, and I really just do read this little and this slow. But I feel like there are days when I'm like reading way more when I don't have all this other stuff going on. I think in the new year when there's just like nothing going on, no holidays, nothing, I will do this again and we'll be able to see how accurate these have been because I actually have no idea because I normally don't track like the books I read and stuff like that. So, but I was just editing, that's why I have my blue light glasses right here because otherwise my eyes would die. I feel like my thoughts on this are pretty much the same. It is very much mundane, very much just the same stuff happening over and over, but the part that I ended at, something happened for the Daisy Hates books, and now I just want the next Daisy Hates book so bad because I think personally while reading this one I feel like I've decided I'm definitely a Daisy Hates book fan. Like I prefer those. I love Magnolia Parks and I love these books. Specifically loved the first two. This one is just like a bit mundane for me, but the Daisy Hates books, I think I just prefer those because I prefer Christian and Julian, and so I love reading their points of views and I love reading what's going on with them. I also think inherently those books have more going on because of what Christian and Julian do, like what their family does and what their family's job or whatever it is. They're more involved in dangerous things, so there's inherently more drama in those books, which I do love, and I love the page turners. I love the stuff like that. I'm just so ready for the Daisy Hates book. I'm so excited for it, and I'm gonna keep reading and finish this book, and hopefully I will finish it by tomorrow because tomorrow is the last day of this video. Then it will officially have been a week of reading, and then I can calculate how many pages I read this week. I don't really know. I'm sure like 300 I think, or 400, but we'll see at the end of the week. But tomorrow I have to work again, and then tomorrow my boyfriend's coming over. Today I'm doing a lot of editing for Bookmas because Bookmas starts in 2 days, which is very exciting. So when you see this video, it's the Thursday before Bookmas started. I have a candle lit. I was listening to music. A very nice vibe in my room right now, so I'm just gonna go back to editing, read a little bit, and have a nice night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hi, it's actually Saturday and I'm at my friend's apartment because we're filming something else today, and I didn't end up finishing Into the Dark yesterday, but I did just finish it. So yesterday I read from page 516 to 624, so I read 112 pages yesterday, but I didn't finish it. So today I read the last 84 pages of it, and I have thoughts about this book. I enjoyed it, and I think I'm gonna end up giving it 4 stars because I love the world and I love the characters, but it was a little bit repetitive and a little bit too long in my opinion. This book I feel like is for people who really love Magnolia and BJ. If you're not so in love with their relationship, you might be a little bit bored. This book is a great finale for them, but it's just a lot about them and their lives and their healing and how they're moving on from a lot of the things that happened to them in the first few books. And it is a great finale. I love the way it ended, but honestly there were so many parts in this book that just made me want to read Daisy Hates and her next book, because I think I realized through reading this that I actually prefer the Daisy and Christian books. I just prefer Christian and Julian, and every little bit of Julian I got in this book just made me want to read those. So I'm very excited for that next book to come out. If you haven't read this series, I highly recommend it. It's super easy to read. It's a lot of dialogue and the characters are just so fun and the world is so fun, and it's very much British Gossip Girl like people say, but this one was a little bit more intense. I loved the ending. It was so sweet. I was listening to the audiobook driving over to my friend's place and I was like crying because there were very sad parts in it, and this ending was very sweet. Her writing is beautiful. It's very poetic and very romantic, and if I was highlighting, this is actually my friend's book because I didn't bring it, but if I was highlighting, those are my overall thoughts, and that is basically what I realistically read in a week. I finished 1 book in the entire week, and it was a long book. I didn't read as much as I was hoping to, but that's okay. But in total throughout the entire week I read 591 pages, so honestly that could have been like 2 books if I decided to read shorter books. So I feel like I did pretty good this week. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. If you've read the Magnolia Park series, let me know your thoughts on it down below. Let me know if you prefer Magnolia's books or BJ's books, because I feel like everyone has a preference. And that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next one, which will be tomorrow for Bookmas. Bye.